Not really the video I thought I would be making on this Monday morning here in Australia, but Alaska Airlines has announced plans to combine and purchase Hawaiian Airlines to expand its existing solid and high-quality brands within the United States. Yes, if you need me to repeat that, Alaska Airlines has purchased Hawaiian Airlines. As part of the latest commitment, Alaska Airlines will expand to become the fifth largest US airline with a nearly 400 narrow and wide-body plane fleet. Ultimately, while agreed and announced, a deal is still subject to regulatory approval. But if approved, you can expect the organization to be based in Seattle and led by the current CEO of Alaska Airlines. Thanks to an agreement being reached at board level between the pair, a deal is expected to officially close in the next 12 to 18 months, following a firm statement. A press release indicated that a deal would see Alaska Airlines acquire Hawaiian for a transactional value of approximately USD 1.9 billion, including USD 0.9 billion of Hawaiian Airlines' net debt. Alaska Airlines believes purchasing the company will substantially improve its reach to 138 destinations. However, this won't be limited to just these, with the further 1,200 thanks to the One World Alliance. But let's just strictly focus on the 138 destinations of the currently existing networks. Thanks to Hawaiian Airlines' esteemed history and also abundance of culture, Alaska Airlines does note this won't disappear as it looks to retain the branding for this company for now. However, visible concerns are present that I will get into thanks to the last time Alaska acquired a company in Virgin America and what ended up taking place with them. Building upon a 90-plus year legacy, Alaska says the airlines explicitly rooted in the 49th and 50th states have meant that air travel has always been hugely influential. Thus, the mission to carry people in the safest and best possible manner has been at the forefront, and maybe that little bit higher than some other key markets. Thanks to this deal, Honolulu is slated to become a key hub for the combined airline, with the belief that Alaska Airlines can expand and reach new locations across not just the Asia but also Pacific region, through Hawaii and then onwards back to the United States across their already very existing expansive network. Alaska Airlines says the complementary domestic, international, and cargo networks will position the new company as a big force on the West Coast and in Hawaii. However, the preservation of the brands will be at the forefront. While Hawaiian will be integrated into a single operating platform to enable what they describe as the remarkable levels of service to be enjoyed by the masses, the importance of the airline shouldn't be ignored. Alaska Airlines says additionally that for those in Hawaii, there'll now be even more opportunities to connect to new destinations that were not previously accessible. This boasting therefore a massive improvement for the people of the country and all surrounding areas, at least what Alaska Airlines says in their release. For those that are swayed by the world of loyalty, the transaction between the two companies will see Hawaiian Airlines loyalty members essentially connected with that of Alaska, in what is going to be labeled as an industry-leading program. An announcement of a deal actually was taking place on a typically quiet Sunday in North America, and is thus primarily, I'd say, filled with a lot of shock, as there didn't seem to be many murmuring surrounding such a deal. The large majority have always enjoyed the presence of Hawaiian Airlines and Alaska Airlines as separate entities, rather than a combined force. While this presents unique and also exciting opportunities for the future, it is also associated with risks. Given Alaska Airlines' track record with the takeover of Virgin America in the 2010s, if I'm taking a look at purely reaction from the public, they've also outlined their concerns. While Alaska says it'll continue keeping the brands as their own and technically falling under the same company, the track record will always be present. But I think very generally the announcement is raw and comes with a lot of shock, but you can let me know your immediate thoughts down below in the comments. In fact, for some people, they thought it was a joke. Now, there is something I do want to explore as well, and that is the Airbus problem. Hawaiian Airlines notably flies a fleet of mostly Airbus aircraft, which does include the next generation A321neo. This was the center of attention for a route expansion quite frankly only a couple of days ago. However, thanks to Alaska Airlines acquiring Hawaiian, well, Alaska was already shifting away from Airbus planes and really trying to stick with the all-Boeing operating title that it marketed for some time. And right, yes, Alaska and Hawaiian will technically be separate entities but under the one operational roof. It does mean the Alaska group will now have Airbus aircraft. And if you recall, when Alaska acquired Virgin America, it moved from the Boeing planes to now having Airbus in the equation. Yes, the airline went as far as painting the jets in their own colours. However, it never really felt all that thrilled with the operation of the type, and that was more than evident in their multiple attempts to remove it. And as 2024 approaches, well, now we know that Alaska Airlines has retired the A320 and the A321 families, as it's simplified to just Boeing, again, for the mainline fleet. This was a pretty big decision, even given the relatively young age of the A321neos retired, which customers enjoyed and believed there were many benefits to retaining. However, Alaska Airlines believed sticking with an all-Boeing fleet would make the most sense for them. But now, thanks to a deal, they'll be forced to have the A321neo again as part of their operations, and that's not even including the Airbus A330, which, for Hawaiian Airlines, the role it plays cannot be understated. It is a critical part of connecting almost every region on the Hawaiian Airlines network to Honolulu. And yes, while Hawaiian Airlines can be expected to introduce new aircraft, such as the Boeing 787, in the near term, it doesn't immediately remove the need for Airbus-produced planes. But could we see, therefore, another shift at board level from Alaska Airlines and their broader group to phase out these Airbus planes? It is a question that needs answering, but I think we could probably make the presumption now sitting here that there is a lot that does need to be answered. And while more details will trickle through across the next 12 to 18 months as the pair go through the regulatory hurdles that will follow, I think many people will focus on just how this will play out. It is another also fundamental step in the further consolidation of the aviation industry, something we've seen happen quite frequently of late. For Alaska Airlines, we know that they currently fly Boeing planes for their mainline. The 737 series remains the most critical per data, with variants spread right across the family in active operation. This includes your 737-900ERs and the inclusion of the next generation MAX family, with the intention for this to grow in the future as it begins to say goodbye to some of its oldest 737s. So, what a day or morning here in Australia. News that many people were not expecting, but something that is truly worthy of its own pretty long now looking at my recording time video. Please let me know your immediate thoughts down below in the comments. Don't worry, this is a big story now going into 2024, so will no doubt likely be covered pretty extensively. And with that, it'll give you more time to digest the news with a more maybe level-headed opinion, as like I've touched on now, this is pretty raw for us all. Thank you very much for tuning in, I appreciate the support. Please take care and be safe, and I'll see you next time. And we'll fly.